Y'all, Fable 5 is nuts. Welcome to the live stream. I've been having a lot of fun today with Fable 5. If you don't know what that is, then maybe you don't know anything about the AI world, which is like totally fine. It's kind of hard though. I mean, considering just how much AI slop people have been looking at day in and day out. But no, seriously, this this is a big deal, Sapoops. So who's out there having a good time playing with AI Slop and Fable 5? Let me know out there in the chat where you're watching from. Are you playing with Fable 5? Let me know. Let me know. Anyway, so for those of you who are not really in the know about what I'm talking about, so think of Fable as just being Chat GPT on steroids. Yeah, that's probably one of the best ways of describing it. Yeah, Chat GPT on mega steroids. All right, look at this. This is what it is right over here. It is a little, well, it's not like a set of butterflies by any means. No, it's literally like a chatbot. Look at this. This is the kind of thing that you've got right here in front of you. I've been playing with this day in and day out, and I even, by the way, got like a max plan right over here. Those of you who know what that means, you know what that means. But either way, just it's been mind blowing. It's been mind blowing. I can't wait to show you guys what's been happening over the past day or so. But for those of you who know anything about the situation at all, just know that this live stream might have very well not happened. You know why? Because this app, it got banned. It was the subject of a literal US freaking government ban. That's right. I mean, Donald Trump and his sapoops were basically so freaked out that decided to ban this chat GPT on steroids. No, seriously, if you didn't actually know about this, this is what happened right over here. Look at this. The US government, citing national security authorities, has issued an export control directive to suspend all access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5. By the way, right? If you don't know what Mythos is, it's basically a class of models, right? That Fable is a part of. And what it does actually is it just kicks every single model's butt in this world. It is actually like I know that these are like numbers and everything, but like the actual performance of this thing is just wow. It can beat Fire Red with only vision, amongst other things. It was able to simulate a solar system. It can literally design drugs to the point that some people have been looking at brand new results that come from genomics and a whole range of other things that just like show up like with this new model right over here. And it's actually at a level that like I could never have imagined. But anyway, I want to get some of your thoughts on this. I mean, who's been playing with AI recently? Hello, Tao Gua. Welcome to the live stream. I don't know if you play with AI quite a fair bit, but like this is one of the fun things that I've been just enjoying, like left, right, front, and center. So, anyone out there who plays with AI, anyone. So let's go right ahead and start a poll actually. So I'm gonna ask the question right over here and also share it on screen for the live stream. Anyone here do any vibe coding or use AI at all? All right. Yes. No. And also, what's vibe coding? I don't even care if there are like only like one there's only like one person or like two people or like zero people on this live stream, like this is actually like fun enough, right? For me to go ahead and show. Because this has been fun. But anyway, Fable, guys, has just been interesting. And to show you, it's better to go right ahead and demonstrate to you a little bit of some. Let's go on Baidu. Let's go on Baidu for a quick bit. You know what Baidu is? Because Baidu is basically the world's most popular Chinese language search engine. Now, some people might say that Google is the most popular search engine, regardless of what, but well, China just happens to. Oh, wait, what's this? Look at that. Where did that come from? Is that like Pleco Dictionary? Did I use some sort of like brand new extension that was not available before? What's this? 获取. What does that mean? To gain, to get, to acquire. Oh, what's that? I don't even know what 获 is. Oh, what's that? I can click it. Oh, it means to capture. Oh, that's so interesting. What about 取? What? It's infinitely tappable. I can go right ahead and just look at what? You can tap every single thing and you can learn every single character that you might possibly want. How wonderful. Did you know where this came from? I created this in like a single day with nothing more than a few prompts that I just designed. Like in nothing more than just like a couple of sentences. Look at this. You okay, like I'm not even going to be selling this right here. I mean, like it would be different if like I were going to be selling this at some later point, but like this is what I did, right? That's all. Once you design something that will display the pinyin of Chinese characters, but also have the option to display the split of all 词 on a given page at any given time. So it's not a blind translation in a way that Google Translate will give you a translation when you point the thing at the thing immediately. Now, those of you who know me, you know that I'm not a banana. Like, I know Chinese, but like any other Chinese person, I suffer when I try to read the language. Why? Because you just constantly need to refer to things all the time. And like you then have to use a Chinese language dictionary or you have to use Google Translate. The thing is that when you use Google Translate, right, then you end up just having to like refer to like the new words inside the words and you can't look at them inside the context. It's just copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and paste. And if you use like your standard issue dictionary, then you know that like the definitions are going to come to you in Chinese again. So this is, I don't know, like when I created what I created, right? Like it was basically just me trying to solve my own problem using AI technology. And I actually successfully solved my own problem with Fable 5. Do you see just how crazy that is in like it, and it wasn't even like that long of a series of prompts, bros. Like, just look at this. I mean, we're here on the Claude app, right? And then like it's just looking at questioning all of the assumptions and everything like that. And you can see all of the different scenarios and everything. And you know, this is great because like we can actually go right ahead, right? And explain all of this with yet another example. And there is a problem with this app at the moment, guys, because like if you look at this, okay, 找到所求, all right, this is what we call a 词 analyzer. If you don't know what 词 is, right? So then, like, basically, just note that, like, if you are studying Chinese, you may think that studying Chinese characters, like for example, zhao. Zhao means fine. Dao means fine. Suo means that which. Qiu is asked for. So like if you think about like all this right here, it's like fairly straightforward, right? But if you look at this stuff right here, okay, so let's see. Di, it can actually mean ground or it can mean the possessive article, right? But then 获取 means take, right? 获取 is not trivial. It means to gain, to get, to acquire, right? You don't understand how these things work just because they are like individually combined with one another. It doesn't work that way, right? And then like in Chinese, you may not even know that essentially 百度 is not just like the name for the search engine, but it literally means 100 and then 度, right? It means to pass, but it also means degrees. And like over here, it says like 度, right? It can mean 度过的度, right? Which means like, of course, to pass, right? But you need to know context in order to know this. So like, it's not so easy, you know, like anybody who knows Chinese knows this. It's not easy to learn at all. And yes, it is like the language of my ancestors. I did learn it for like a significantly long time, but I still have problems with it. That's why this is such a game changer because I can literally just get everything in pinyin no matter where. So yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to be releasing this for like free at some later point. But I mean, you can get like, by the way, some free versions of like what I built over here, inferior versions, in my opinion. But you can get free versions and they'll actually let you understand like what is really going on right here. Very simply. No problem with that. But what I have with the 词 over here is honestly, I think, very much a new thing altogether. Now, of course, this is what we have with a little bit of like 繁体字, right? So you don't necessarily have all of the 简体, like all of the way, at least in what I saw a little bit earlier on, right? Or maybe like it depends actually on what really just casually pops out, like when you look at it straight away. But let's see what happens, right? When we try to make sure that we're able to do this, for example, for a brand new language. All right, let's just ask Fable to do this while we're looking through some of the examples, and you'll see what exactly this thing is capable of. I want you to create me an analog of this for the Japanese language and also for the Korean language. I think that might be kind of like pushing it, but yeah, I need you to create an analog to this for the Japanese language and for the Korean language. In each case, you need to be able to read out the specific kanji and break down into hiragana for the Japanese. And for the Korean, you need to look at the Hangul and you need to give the correct pronunciation in romanization. And you also need to do it in terms of decomposing the meaning. So basically, you need to give me two separate other Chrome plugins, extensions that I can make use of. And I should be able to test these out a little bit later on. You're being watched here by people, so we'll see how your capabilities are a little bit later on. All right, you know, this could actually just like fail, but you know what? you can actually choose, right? Like how smart you want this thing to be. I have only used the high setting so far. I don't know if it means high as in like it is just wow, like extremely high, or it is literally like high as in like Cheech and Chong, like let's get like completely baked type high, but like it still managed to create this. So let's go right ahead and do ultra code right over here. I need to break through my limits anyway. Ha, let's do it. Oh, and incidentally, perform multiple tests, validate your tests, cross reference, and ensure that there will be value in the thing that you create. All right, ultra code, let's go. Okay. Right. Anyway, so I don't know who of you here is actually interested in Fable, so let's see who is on the live stream at the moment. All right, so what would my app be about? I mean, like, there's a range of these things actually, but like, I see like very few of you actually use, shall we say, Claude at the moment. Wow. Like, I don't know how to describe it to you guys, but like, honestly, just being able to use the Fable has been next level. It's like basically gaining access to alien technology. It's like, wow. It's actually crazy what Anthropic has created and what it is creating. And yeah, some of the things that I've been able to build have been kind of interesting as well. But let's kind of like retitle this right here because I think that this needs to have a bit of a more accurate description for what I'm doing. Fable 5 and some of the things I built. All right. Anthropics, Anthropics, Fable 5, and some of the things I've built. All right, cool. Anyway, so I have a little bit of a showcase to you of some of the things. Ooh, you can actually see right now Claude just casually thinking along the way. But I actually made also like a nice little thingamabob right over here, which has been fun. It's actually called Fable, funnily enough. And what it is actually a PDF reader. Now, the story is that I read a lot, right? And recently I've been reading a whole ton of different books. The thing is, right, that like I also exercise quite a fair bit, and you probably know that if you've seen me in person before, there's a good chance that you will see me like exercising, whether it's running or like lifting weights or like say archery. The other day I went and shot a couple of rounds at local archery range. Some people actually said that I was like part elf. Bro, some boobs. Why are you calling me part elf? So then I can't exactly be reading, right, while I'm like shooting arrows at people. I mean, at targets. So because of that, right? So I needed a solution for that. And this is one of those solutions right here. I called it Fable. And what Fable is basically what you can do is you can upload a PDF, any PDF that you actually want. And I've been reading a lot of books about colonialism. Franz Fanon's is one example. And what you can actually do in Fable, which I just created, is that you can actually go right ahead and ask the app, right? All right, let me just see.
Dignity of humanity
Aha,
was
there you go.
maintained in an unbreakable, though not always visible line, in the depths of the life of the masses and in the uninterrupted fight slandered, attacked, but alive in the very center of history of little revolutionary vanguards bound to this profound human reality and
You saw that, didn't you, Sapoops? So I didn't try that before. Like I showed it to you. Like this was all happening live, you know? Like you can actually upload any PDF and you can have it just start reading. And it's pretty cool as well because you can actually go right ahead and choose the kind of voice that you want. So I have a couple right here. One of them is the grandfather.
Hello, this is how I sound when I read your documents aloud.
Yeah, kind of like that crusty old man, Sapoops.
Hello, this is how I sound when I read your documents aloud.
Yeah, a little bit less close to death. I'm sorry to say that, but like, yeah, you've got a whole bunch of like different voices right here from different people. And yeah, I mean,
Hello, this is how I sound when I read your documents aloud.
is that racist? Whoa. No, but this is essentially like the kind of thing that like allows you to choose a whole range of different like voices to read like any book that you want. So the idea here is that like whenever I go running or whenever I can just go right ahead, whenever I am exercising, right? Like if I want to listen to a podcast and for some reason or another the thing that I'm doing like doesn't require that much attention, I can just go right ahead and drop it in here. And from there, I'm able to go right ahead and have the ebook read out to me. So you might notice that it's not actually like a podcast, right? Like it's actually matching up with the words. Look at this.
Well, perhaps not, said Alice in a soothing tone, and don't be angry about it. And yet I wish I could show you our cat Dinah. I think
You
you'd
can teach
take a
her to
fancy
speak.
to cats if you could only see her. She is such a dear, quiet thing, Alice went on, half to herself, as she swam lazily about in the pool.
All right. So those are at the moment, right? Just some very basic voices. Like this is free at the moment. I might end up using 11 Labs a little bit later on to start refining the voice and then performing an integration with O off and various other things like that. But later on, there's going to be a release of this into the market. And what I'm planning to do, right, is that you can actually narrate any PDF that you want, right? For free for 60 minutes in the course of a month, and you can actually test it out, see if it actually like fits in well with your routine. If not, then no problem. But if you like to purchase and it's going to be a one-time purchase, then basically you pay me $10 and you can go right ahead and make use of it. Lots of different colors, five beautiful color schemes that you can see right over here. I may add a little bit more to this. And by the way, all of the data is going to be completely on your computer. So it's going to be released as a Mac app, no subscriptions. And you know that I hate subscriptions as well. And yeah, the only reason I'm getting a subscription this time for Claude is because of this crazy Mythos class model, which has been given unto us and that we're casually experiencing right here today. I am still sick, Poops, because of the durian from the other day. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know how many of you out there are actually like trying this stuff at the moment, but like it's actually crazy to see what is actually going on. Maybe what's actually happening is that those of you who actually have the ability to build are just making use of this right now because you know that it just came out and that you know that like if you don't build now then like this is going to be like the time that you have, right, like just lost. But like the reason I want to share this, right, is because like I feel like there's literally like a sea change that is actually happening in our world right about now. And it's like a sea change, which I think to myself, like has the ability actually to just like completely shift. Well, it already has shifted the way that like we live and like we exist in this world, right? But it just happened just like that. And honestly speaking, I'm not surprised that the US government actually like banned it. I mean, like, you can see what it's actually able to do. Wow. But since we're talking about Chinese anyway, so why don't we go right ahead and yeah, ask some of you out there, do you do you speak Chinese? Or maybe like let's not say like do you speak Chinese? Let's say something like, are you learning a foreign language and is it hard? Maybe like let's phrase it in that way. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. Yes, it is. Yes, but it's not. No. All right, cool. Anyway, so let's go right ahead and check on what we were doing a little bit earlier on. I wonder if we're going to get something even vaguely similar to what we had earlier with all this stuff right here. By the way, for those of you who did not see the demonstration earlier, so I built this. Hold up. Yo. 新闻好 1 2 3 do mate. Okay, I need to undo the auto translation. But look at this. You can actually see that it translates everything that got highlighted. And it takes in every 词. Yep, that's what it is. 贴吧. This is a forum, so to speak. And you've got all of this right here. 视频. Let's validate this. 图片. Picture. 网盘. Online storage space. 文库. Collection of doc. Do you see how useful this thing is? Like, if you didn't know what all of this stuff was, like, this actually just fixes everything. Crazy. Yeah, anyway. So, I wonder if Claude, you are actually done with what we created right over here. All right, sibling extensions. Let us see. Okay, so it's actually creating. Actually, the longer this actually takes to create, the happier I'm going to be because like my limits are going to be set, right, on July the 4th. So that's not very long from now. Like within an entire day, I'm actually going to be able to just have everything reset. So like I would actually prefer for this entire thing to be working on Ultra Code like the entire way so that it actually ends up creating the entire thing. But anyway, so there's some other fun things which I have created as well. I mean, as you can see, there is a what we call a punch power analyzer here. This is very much not complete, I think. I don't think it works very well at the moment, but let's see, let's see. All right. So there's a very good chance that this is going to fail. Let's see. Doot, 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 doot. Let's go. Are you able? Okay, body not detected. Step back. Okay, oh yes, yes. Okay, there you go. All right. The thing about this is that it requires you to press P. Okay, ready to punch. All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so it's gonna analyze my punch, and that was a 100 out of 100 for speed. My my hips were not visible, unfortunately, so that did not work very well. Apparently, my battle cry was 86 out of 100, so boop. So that's great. I mean, I did not expect that, but all right. And yeah, so that's yeah. I don't know how useful that is for civilization. I don't know if it's gonna save the world. Probably not. But anyway, Yeah, you can do all sorts of like fun things like this, Poops. I mean, like I'm having a good time, like just casually enjoying the stuff, making it happen right over there. And yeah. I don't know if like any of you have actually tried just doing something like this before, but it's fun. Like, I don't remember a time when I've had so much fun just like making things like this. Really. So if only more of you actually like knew about this, but it seems like none of you actually care about it. That's so interesting. It's like, why? Maybe my theory is right that like you guys actually just don't know about this stuff or like you don't even try it out. Huh, it's interesting. But like, no, seriously, those spoops. If some of you out there like you vibe code or you make use of this technology in some way, shape, or form, let me know out in the chat. Absolutely fascinating. We're out there just casually making use of like some of the most powerful technology banned by the US government. And like people are still out there, like just not even paying attention. Like, like this technology that like I use today is available to you as well, right? For like an entire week up until February the 7th. It's crazy. Anyway, so moving on from a punch power analyzer, which I think is an interesting thing in itself. So let's see, what else do we have? What else do we have? We have also, all right, a little invoice generator. Okay, this is kind of like practical. I'm actually interested to commercialize this. And the reason I'm interested in commercializing this, oops, I have to like restart this in a bit. Let me just see right over here. Okay, invoice generator. Yeah, so like this is again like another problem that I wanted to go right ahead and deal with because I used to use this app called Invoice Simple. And if you don't know anything about Invoice Simple, just know that like it was the simplest invoice generator that could ever exist, like on like pretty much any platform. Like if you actually look up Invoice Simple on YouTube, right? It was actually so popular to the point that like people okay, it used to be popular. Like don't get me wrong right here. It used to be popular. It used to actually be amazing. Look at that. It had 12 million views 8 years ago. The easiest estimating and invoicing app you'll ever use. And it was. It really was. It was so simple to go right ahead and send this to clients, right? Because like I have to make use of this for like my education business. And sending invoices, making invoices otherwise is like a nightmare. So this solved the problem for me, right? The problem is they kept on increasing the price and then decreasing the number of things that you could do on a premium membership. But the last straw was when they were literally charging something like what, like 50 ringgit per month just to send out 3 invoices. I was like so freaking pissed. You have no idea, right? Like imagine being charged like 50 ringgit per month just to send out like 3 invoices. And I immediately just like, no. Like decided this is the last straw. I cannot be doing this anymore. And that's where this actually comes in. Look at this. So you can actually go right ahead, right? And write in every single one of the details that you might potentially want to put in right over here. So in this case right here, so you can say essentially that your business essentially has the following name. Let's see, right here, edit. You can actually put in a logo as well. Let's say, all right, Acadia. And let's just say Bob at Acadia.my. And let's come up with some like BS phone number. Bum, 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 bum. Wow, I should probably like run a check to make sure that that doesn't actually like pass later on. So like one hacker way, you put a signature and even choose a logo. I am not gonna be doing that like right at the moment. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just put in this chair. Sure, let's put the chair. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Save changes. You can even choose the currency if you like, and everything like that. But the point is, right, that I need to be able to go right ahead and choose a client. So I can do that. So let's say John Smith. Da 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 da. Wait. Da 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 da. At gmail.com. Da 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 da. Item. Let's say pay me money. By the way, suppose you can actually donate so that I recover my $200 in any of the means listed like down below. And I thank you for your generosity. It's not an obligation, but anyway, onwards. So yeah, you can actually go right ahead and say pay me money. And let's say that it is 500 ringgit. Okay lah, we cheapo lah. Let's say that's 5 ringgit. And we go right ahead and say the payment details. Payment may be made to, so like Hong Leong Bank 00400161855. And let's see what actually happens along the way. We preview it. We can export it as a PDF. And let's go right ahead and see what we've got. Oops, okay, it did not export the PDF correctly. So in this case, that's something that needs to be fixed. But mostly everything you can see right over here actually looks correct. Let's fix it right now, actually, and see if this actually works. So you can see actually that this Fable thing is not like perfect, right? But it is essentially able to build things very quickly, very efficiently, and it is able to do that, right? With nothing more than like a couple of prompts. This is clearly a fail though. I'm sorry, Spoops. But either way, like I am actually shocked that a lot more people are not like making use of this every single day right now because like it's only available until like February the 7th, which is crazy. Like you think about it. I mean, to be fair, like they actually did make it available for like a longer period of time before this. So like it's kind of like they offered us a chicken, then they took the chicken away, and then like they offered us the chicken wing back, right? So yeah, that's rather unfortunate to think about that. Hold on, let me see right here. No, 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 no. No, as in like what was the earlier timeline for it to actually be made available before the US government said that they were going to ban it? I'm more interested in that. All right. Anyway, so we're gonna ask it to fix this. As you can see, this is the result of exporting the PDF. Please fix so that it actually looks like what the preview suggests that it will look like. Note that the preview changes across modern, bold, classic, and minimal. Ensure that the export result actually looks like what it is supposed to look like across all of the different previews. All right, very nice. I especially like the chair just like hanging around right over there. Boom. Okay, incidentally, I wonder what is happening right over here. Ultra code is ongoing. If it actually ends up like creating all of those shall we say, like language translators, I would actually be so happy. You have no idea. I'm actually tempted to do it for like all the languages that I do know. So then that would be like English, Chinese, Malay. Well, Malay, I don't think I actually need that. French, I do know how to read Russian. Some Hebrew, not a ton of it. Then Spanish, Japanese, Korean, and yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to think about along the way. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know like if it's actually going to be working by the time we are able to, shall we say, deal, right, with the bug. But we will see. We will see the poops. Tao Kwa. I mean, like, you say it's amazing, but like, you can actually do this yourself, you know? Like, this is the kind of thing that technology actually makes possible. Like, this is me trying to like anti gatekeep right here and saying to you, bro, you should actually try this. You should actually try this. Like, it's actually amazing. You have no idea. Like, it's so cool. Yeah, so let me see. Like, what do we have right over here? Oh, bro, why are you? Oh no, no sonnet, please. Hold up. No, no, no. Fable, Fable. Okay, let's see. Rewind and use Fable. Okay. All right. Anyway, so I'm a bit surprised actually that like a lot of you just don't use AI in like this way. Maybe it's because a lot of people, right, are just like so disillusioned by AI to the point that maybe you're just like running away from it. Or maybe like it's just like moving too fast to the point that like you just don't want to actually like learn about it. Or maybe like again, you are building. It's just that like watching this YouTube video is just like at the opportunity cost of actually like creating something like this. But it would be nice actually to have like some people who are like-minded or who actually have been able to see what thing is able to do and to actually wonder to themselves what it would be like, right? Like if this thing actually does have the ability to create like literal weapons, which is probably one of the reasons why they went ahead and they blocked the Mythos class models, which is like Fable except without the guardrails. Because like they're literally afraid of bioweapons coming out into the world. I mean, if you actually look at like the whole discussion about all of this right here, it's really unique to think about how a lot of how our future as a civilization is basically going to be determined just by the opinions and the thoughts of very few people. And yeah, if someone like Alex Karp, by the way, is going out there and saying that the industry is effing insane. By the way, if you don't know who this guy is, he is the CEO of Palantir, which is incidentally that gigantic data mining behemoth corporation that a lot of our solidarity supports would probably not be a very big fan of, just because his technology has been used in a lot of different conflicts. And I'll let you explore that by yourself, right? But he's essentially saying that, yeah, it's crazy what the AI industry is doing right here, partly because of the business model. But he did also compliment Dario Amodei, who is the CEO of Anthropic recently, Alex Karp, and Dario Amodei. Let's see. Yep. So he says essentially that Dario Amodei is literally a historic figure. He came from behind and he's now number one. If you don't know who Dario Amodei is, by the way, he is the CEO of Anthropic, which is the company that created Claude. And if you don't know who Dario is, I mean, he's not really like as loud, shall we say, as Sam Altman, but this guy is not a dumb guy. You can see what's going on right here. Caltech attended, Stanford, Princeton, and yeah, he's not a dumb cookie by any means, but like the universities are not like the impressive thing about this guy. The fact is that he is like literally the harbinger of the modern generation of like modern technology. And I know this for a fact, by the way, because I have friends who work at Meta, for example, and they make use of Claude in order to like refactor their code and to just do a whole range of different things, which they used to do by hand. Because, like you've got your top 0.1% recruited software engineer go for exam, algorithm exam type thing. Of course, lah, you're going to be doing your job. Of course, you do the thing that you're good at, right? But even those people are using AI and even those people are using Claude. So, like, what does that tell you? Like, I am somebody who was not trained in computer science to the degree of like such people. I do have like understanding of computer science. I did get an A in some classes in computer science in my university, but it was not my main field of specialization. So the fact that I am using it is like an understandable thing, right? But that tech workers would be using it and being afraid of being replaced because of it. Now that's like a whole brand new ballgame, isn't it? But anyway, so always fun to think about this sort of thing right here. Tao Hua, I mean, like coding a lottery predictor. How anybody can predict the lottery. The question is whether you can actually win. Now that's kind of the thing that matters, isn't it? Anyway, so you say next time. Why not now? I mean, like, Fable is only going to be available to people for like a few more days, right? Like, it's not going to be around for a very long time. This is like new. This is to the level that like I just immediately upon realizing, right, that like it was only going to be around for like a short while. I burned through my 20 US dollar pro plan. And then after burning through my 20 US dollar pro plan, I burned through the 100 US dollar pro plan. Then I realized to myself that like even that is not enough usage. Then I immediately paid 200 US dollars like straight away for like the 20x version. Like watching the results of what actually happened was just like at that level. And I'm not getting paid by Anthropic to say any of this, by the way. Like, this is just me spontaneously reacting and freaking out right now to what this was able to do in a single day. And, like, Sapoops, like, I don't come out with, like, shock by any means, just randomly like that. I don't, like, just pause and not be able to, like, talk effectively for a lot of different things. It needs to actually be something special to shock me to this level. But anyway, I do have like another demonstration for some of you out there because this is something that I made and it's something that I've wanted to bring to life for a while. Anyway, so why don't we go right ahead, right, and try this out right over here. This is hold up. Speech practice. Da, 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 dum. All right. Okay. localhost. Okay, hold on. Nope. I need you to do this. 1 second. All right. I need you to run my speech practice app on another localhost so that I can actually try it out. Thank you. Do, 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 do. I'm behaving like heathen, by the way, like actually asking Fable to do that as opposed to like a cheaper model because I have just that much available usage casually hanging out right over here. I literally have 80% left. Like, do you realize that I won't be able to make use of all of that even if I like do nothing except prompt ChatGPT for the entire day, like tomorrow? Wow. And I have like stuff to do, okay? So I can't be doing that. But anyway, so let's just go right ahead and see what is actually going to be going on right over here. All right, Fable, stop, 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 stop. Checking availability. Okay, so please make this happen. I would like to demonstrate this to my audience. Standalone instance on port 8992 and verifying. Okay, anyway, so let's see what we've got with our little. Ooh, nice. Okay, it looks like our Hangul lens is working already. Okay, 저는 매일 한국어를 공부. All right, even I can translate this for you. I am every day studying Korean. 저는 I am 매일 every day. All right. 한국어 is Korean. 를 is basically like a particle, and 공부 is basically like studying. And yeah, so it looks like what we have right here actually just kind of works. 생활. Okay, great. You know, I'm actually going. Yo, I'm so happy. It actually works. This is all right. Great. Let me see right there. Do, 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 do. All right. Extension ja and extension ko. All right. So why don't we go right here and see right over there. Extension ja. All right. And by the way, Sapoops, like just know that we did this live. All right. Like maybe weren't here to watch all of this happen, but like we actually made this live. 私は毎日日本語を勉強しています。All right, let's see what you've got right here. It actually does, by the way, like go straight into hiragana, right? So if you don't know hiragana, then maybe there should be like a romanization, so to speak. But I want to target this to like beginner Japanese learners so they can actually like understand like what's going on the page. Like I am actually thinking of like adding in an OCR component there as well. I wonder if that is actually like a possibility. And you know what? I'm actually gonna go right ahead and like put that in, so to speak. Do you believe that there's an opportunity for OCR recognition such that it would be possible to translate stretches of text in images? For example, when a person is reading manga or manhwa, if there is that possibility, then can you craft an update to all of the different extensions that I've made so far that allows for a user to select the text that they can see, and in turn to have translations given to them? Or is there some other means by which that can actually be done? Thank you. All right. I think this is kind of like Delulu, honestly, but like again, we have a lot of usage possibility right here, so we're gonna go right ahead and make use of it. But in the meantime, we actually do have like an extension to play with, so I am going to play with it. And this actually goes into like the developer capabilities, which I am going to be using. All right, so like Chrome extensions. This is how you actually like make use of extensions, by the way. And let's see, load unpacked extension. All right. Actually, hold on. So like, did I already? Ah, okay, great. Extension Japanese, freelance, and let's then use Korean lens. All right, so let's now go right ahead, right, and look up Asahi Shinbun. If you don't know what Asahi Shinbun is, it's one of the most popular Japanese news websites on the planet. Let's see if it works. No, don't translate this for me. Translation is for peasants. Indoni Atsu. All right, hold up. Atsu. All right. Shisen. Takaichi. Takaichi Shusho. All right, the so this is actually wrong because like this is actually a proper noun. If you know Chinese, right, then you might know that this is 高市首相. So 首相 actually means like prime minister. So this is actually a reference to the prime minister. So like in this case, Furi-chan, Furi-lens-chan got it wrong, right? So not great at proper nouns at this point in time, but still it will go right ahead and improve. Let's see. What about this one right here? Ah. Okay, it doesn't like highlight properly, but maybe like if we actually go into an article, then like it will actually like do it properly. Undo. Yongatsu kara. All right, let's see. Are you able to do it? Okay, maybe like there's like a word limit, so then it wasn't able to actually like do every single thing. Yeah, so I guess like when it gets past a certain number of words, then it's not able to actually like deal with things. Okay, so there is a problem with this because Japanese and Chinese, right? They make use of the same characters, so to speak. So in this case, actually, this should be gatsu, but then like it has coded it as yue. It has misrecognized this as Chinese when actually it is Japanese. So this is actually like an error that I need to go right ahead and identify for what we are seeing in our app. And then that's going to be updated. This is actually how like I vibe code, by the way, Sapoops. Like maybe some of you have never really seen this happen before, but like it is actually something that I am going to be improving. I'm actually going to be like making better along the way. Yes, indeed. It is kanji, top diop. The problem is, right, that my software recognized it as Chinese. So then, because it recognized it as Chinese, so then that is why it ended up throwing an error. I'm able to read it in Japanese, but yeah. So like you can actually see what's going on right there. Yeah. So like it actually got it wrong. So like I think that's like a context issue, right? Because like remember that earlier what we did was that we made another like extension, and it's actually able to read Chinese, and it's able to give us like some incredible results, right? Like with pretty much any Chinese text, to the point that I'm like still blown away. But like some of the other ones are just like not really working so well at the moment. So we need to actually like have that human element there, like just constantly checking to see if it actually works. But like I think that it'll probably be more reliable in Korean. So like let me just see right here. If we go on Naver, by the way, like I don't know like how many of you out there are like aware of the different like hangouts of the internet, right? But like longer you spend on Earth, the more aware you become of like these things. So yeah. I just spend like too much time on the internet. That's just what it is. All right. Let's see. Do you okay, unfortunately our Japanese reader is only going to work. Youch. This is so sad. This is so sad. Youch. Ouch. Fail. Okay, but bro. Bro. 主人公. Yeah, no, it's not working. Anyway, let's go on Naver. Let's see. What do you have on Naver? Undo. Well, to be the thing about Google is that like nowadays it like just constantly translates almost everything that you see, to the point that some of you might argue that like there's no point in learning other languages. But like I think that that is like so sad. Like, can you just imagine if the world were only just translated into your point of view? Like, there's no fun in going about just reading slop all day when you could be learning, right? Like how to actually like appreciate what people are saying in their own secret codes. It's kind of like how we may want to understand Malay, right? So that like whenever somebody calls us a barwa or like a pendatang, we know exactly how to counter them because we know your culture better than you know your culture. We know how you feel about your faith, how you think better than you think. And I know it's like a weird way of like thinking about it, right? But like I just happen to like appreciate and like, languages, which is why like, I'm able to like read some of these things. Okay, our Korean is working well. No problem with that. Never 검색 AI 검색 검색. All right. 매일 카페. Yeah. You can actually see actually that like it is helping us to understand like all of the different navigation items. Map, 부동산. Wait, hold on. Webtoon. There you go. All right. So like this is actually like romanization. But anyway, so noted that. All right. Okay. Here we actually have like some Korean text. Let's see. 삼성전자 화장이. Okay, in this case right here, they aren't able to know what Samsung is. They don't have the context for that. I suppose it's because like in Korean, you don't really have like the same level of dictionaries as what you have in like the Chinese language, which allows people to recognize like a lot of like those other things right there. All right. 삼성의 미래 성장 검점으로 Okay, it's not bad, but like it's not great either. So there's clearly some work to be done for our Japanese and Korean. But you have to admit, right? Like it's actually not bad for like a first pass. I'm impressed. Anyway, yeah, well, yours kept translating it into Spanish. I don't know where you're from, but I mean, like, are you Spanish? Like, is that why? Is that the reason? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, but I still do need to like fix some of these things right over here, which I will, incidentally. Yep. This is actually like kind of like a working live stream almost. Poops, because like I'm actually like trying to make this a little bit better. All right. I need you to improve the Japanese and the Korean extensions in the following ways. The Japanese extension is not capturing Japanese text reliably. Perhaps that is because it is getting overridden by the Chinese language extension. Perhaps there needs to be a context detection mechanism for Japanese such that if there is the presence of hiragana or katakana within the input, then it will be the case that it will recognize it as Japanese and then it will perform the translation from there. Currently, that is not happening, and I can select a range of text with kanji and also hiragana, and the net effect of interaction of the three different extensions is that they will then end up having one take precedence, in this case, the Chinese language one. As you go forward with OCR and various other things as well, that will be a going concern, as will also the fact that the Korean dictionary seems to be lacking. In an article featuring Samsung and various other things, the dictionary was not capable of furnishing the fact of what was being discussed. The Japanese one was also incapable of recognizing the name of Sanae Takaichi either. And it seems that this was a failure in various scenarios or cases. Please fix these, identify any edge cases that may come about as unexpected consequences from testing these different extensions across a variety of different scenarios to ensure that there will be a robustness across whether news sites or situations where images may display Chinese language text or links may be present, and otherwise sourcing for databases that might be suitable for the purpose of bolstering the ultimate database armament that each of these extensions draws upon in order to facilitate their translational capabilities as you craft, articulate, refine, and remember all of the foregoing things that we had discussed before, including the OCR, and ensure that there is interoperability and integration between all the different parts of the application to ensure that it is able to deliver the experience that I would like. All right. Wow, Boops, like you must have just like been thinking that like I'm Delulu, just casually like talking to myself like that. I do that sometimes. I mean, I don't like talk to myself if I don't need to like talk to myself. Like I spend a lot of my time like reading. I do socialize as well. I do like go out I do go out like once in a while, but like I don't feel a pressure to be like talking to human beings like all the time. You know what I mean? Like I mean like to be fair, right? Like streaming is kind of like talking to human beings, but like in this case right here, we're not like a huge group of people or anything, you know, like I'm not like talking to like billions of people or anything like that. But like even if I were talking to like billions of people, I don't think I would change, you know what I mean? I would literally just be like yapping to myself and then like just making this thing happen. You know, like it's literally like a work live stream. It doesn't happen very often, so like enjoy it. Yeah, Top Yacht translating into Spanish, but like you call me a Malaysian? I mean, like, what are you? Is my question right over here. Make a video about durian runtuh recently. I don't know about that. If you want to contribute to my durian runtuh, feel free to donate so that I can like not lose my, shall we say, yeah, like $200. Yeah. Top Yacht. Thinking is talking to oneself. Yeah, but like if you think about it actually, if you look at like the way that Claude actually does things right here, you can actually see that like it is like almost done thinking. Like it is doing so much thinking on its own right over here. All right, let's see what actually happens right over here. All right, so why don't we go right ahead and try this actually? All right, we had our chair. Let's see if our export actually works properly right now. One fixed. Let's see. Please. Nope. It did not fix it. So clearly we have like some limitations right over here on the PDF front. All right. So it turns out that Fable is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. And I don't know if like it's because like it ended up using Sonnet. No, I'm pretty sure that was Fable. That's so sad. I'm sorry, but like this is what you gave me. You who are supposed to be the highest of all high technologies. I need you to actually go ahead and export the PDF and check the result of exporting your PDF yourself to actually see if it visually matches. Are you actually able to do that? Can you do that in an agentic workflow? And can you also recruit a sub agent in order to ensure that your work is correct along the way? I need you to make sure that this is right. All right, you know what? Ultra code because like I can. All right. Yeah. So poops, we know that technologies do have their limitations. You know, we shouldn't be going out there and screaming from the rooftops like they are the very best of all. You could see that like there's been failure after failure on this front. And yeah, like it's really great technology. And like I'm really shocked that like not a lot more people are using it, but like c'est la vie, you know what I mean? Let's try this. Okay, great. All right, so this is actually a project that I've wanted to show like a lot more people, and that I fully intend to commercialize. I don't know if some of you are going to be using it at some later point, but like it is actually something that I would like to try to do. But anyway, so this is the, shall we say, speech practice studio. All right, so then what it is actually is an opportunity for you like me to talk to yourself. Now, why do I say that? I say that because, well, you can actually just go right ahead and randomize anything. You could really just like choose a topic though. I mean, like if you wanted to, you know, like you could actually ask it to fix one of these things right over here. And it would actually go right ahead and give you a random topic, so to speak. But yeah, what's going to end up happening is that you get a prompt, and from there you actually get to give a speech. All right, you know what? Let's try again. So basically, what's going to happen is that it's going to give you a challenge, and you have to answer right here with your response in a recorded speech. However long it is that you want it to be, I mean, like you can choose it. Like it goes from 30 seconds to 10 minutes. And yeah, let's go right ahead. Boom. How does language influence thought? Wow, that's like way too abstract. How do we communicate across cultures? Okay, fine. Like let's go right ahead and make use of this. Communicating across cultures is extremely difficult if people are not on the same wavelength. If people don't understand one another, it boggles the mind to see how they can end up appreciating what each other are saying, let alone even appreciating one another. To communicate across cultures requires a massive and monumental effort. A person needs to understand what the other person cares about, what they feel, what they think about, how they see the world. Only then will it be possible to bring any sort of change. If I don't choose to understand you, how you see the world, how you feel when I do certain things, what makes you happy, then I may step on your toes. And when I step on your toes, I may offend you. And when I offend you over and over again, then you may end up losing interest, falling away. At that point, communication becomes useless because you are angry with me and you think that anything that I say is going to just hurt you or it's going to not be relevant to you, even if it is. That is why it is difficult to communicate across cultures. It is a difficulty that is so difficult to surmount that so many people give up. But I don't think that we should be giving up. I think that we need to raise our level to either become able to understand the other so well that they have no choice but to realize that we care, or to become magnetic to people in such a way that they will learn about us. All right, and that's 8 seconds over. Stop and analyze. All right, so this is pretty cool because it's an actual practice studio. It helps you to become good at speaking, thinking on your feet. Yes, I am sitting down, but that is something that it does allow you to do. And yeah, it actually rates you and allows you to download your videos as well. This is what we have right here. It is kind of brutal. It tells you that what you're saying is not that great necessarily. It didn't give me a very good score for logical connection right here, but I do intend to practice a little bit more with all of this and to actually download that video because like I think that that was like pretty good. But yeah, so like I look forward to actually like sharing more of these projects with you guys, the poops. And if you're looking forward to it, then you can actually find some of this stuff on my Gumroad, which you're gonna see right over here, tanws.gumroad.com. And yeah, you can go right ahead and see that you are able to actually purchase my book right over here. I'm going to be using this Gumroad for more software sales a little bit later on because that's just the easiest platform. But yeah, so like you've got like, all right, let's see if our invoice generator is actually working. And if it does work, then like I will actually try to see if I can, let me see, drive it end to end. Okay, this might actually take like a while. I don't know if this is actually going to be working. Let me see. Are you actually? Ouch. Okay, lots of prompts here. So much stuff to do. So much stuff to do. So poops. All right. Anyway, so yeah, so you can see that I'm actually like doing like some work right here with AI, and I'm having fun. I'm not complaining, by the way, because like this is like really awesome new technology, like just coming to light. Always fun. Always fun. Yeah, I don't know about like songs and stuff like that. I'm actually learning how to DJ and like using Ableton amongst other things. So yeah, that's like a different thing altogether. Ritaki says when using audio commands or inputs like this, is it able to detect sarcasm? If not, you have to curate your words carefully. The thing about sarcasm, right, is that in order for me to actually get to that level of performance, I will probably need for the software to understand that nuance, right? Like from the wording. But the thing is that when humans speak, right? So we have a lot of like different types of variations. Like for example, I could say, of course, people know about AI, right? And like you could take me like completely seriously. But if I say, of course, people know about AI, then in that case, then you can see that the words are the same, but clearly sarcasm is meant because like of the way that I said it, right? But the thing is that AI software isn't really at the point where it can detect sarcasm. You know, like it's gonna use like transcripts and text, and if it sees right like sarcasm in the pattern of your writing, then in that case, then yeah, like it's obvious it can actually tell, but like it's not gonna be able to like, shall we say, tell exactly that you were being like sarcastic unless it's running like a facial recognition model on you, which I suppose it's possible at some later point, but I don't know if we actually are going to be doing that. That does kind of have to do with one more of my projects though, which is basically the camera like recognition thing. So I'm interested in doing a sort of like camera training thing a little bit later on. So you'll see that as the resting state confidence analyzer. Yeah, let me see right here. All right, let's go. Record 30-second baseline. Yes, I know I'm not like doing a lot right here, but like I made this today. It's probably the thing that I've like thought least about. So okay. On camera gaze. Percentage of frames facing. Okay. Um, so this is gonna be like possibly part of an attention monitoring software that I would like to create. I mean, like when I say attention monitoring, what I mean by that is that like I wanna be able to track your eyes and I wanna tell like what you're thinking about. I know it sounds creepy, but like it's actually something that I think would be like interesting to like bring about right over there. But mostly like for educational purposes. I mean, like I'm interested in like creating a sort of like educational software that we sell to parents essentially, and then like it forces, I don't want to say forces, like it secures the agreement of children on when they are meant to be studying, kind of thing, and then like it pays attention to them during those hours when they are studying, and then like sees if they are actually getting distracted or if they are actually performing the tasks that they are supposed to be performing, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like it could be dystopian or it could like seem wrong, but like this is like one of the things that I decided that like, like it could be interesting. If I end up creating the panopticon or like end up getting all of us into a surveillance society, like I'm sorry to boots, but like yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what else do we have right here? Doot, 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 doot. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty fun to see what you can do with like Fable 5 at the moment. And yeah, I think it's a shame that none of you actually make use of it. But I guess I'll be playing a little bit more. So it's getting late, so I will see you later, Saboops. Thank you for joining me on the live stream. Bye, heathens. Use some AI soon.